All right. You're listening to Daddy Home, brought to you by Inebriated Records. Check out inebriatedinstigators.com for all the podcasts in the Inebriated Records family. You can check them out on Facebook, Inebriated Instigators on Facebook. It's a great group. Go check it out. One of my favorite podcasts, other than my own, that they produce is the POP podcast. It's a great show. They talk a lot about wrestling. If you're a big wrestling mark, definitely check out that show, POP. And that's about it. They're good guys. They're really helping me out with this show, so I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone at Inebriated Records. All right. So I just want to say Kiki is not here today. She's on special assignment. I do have a very special friend checking in. And before I bring him on, I also want to mention Twitter. Oh, my God. How could I forget this? Twitter. Follow Daddy Home on Twitter at DaddyHomePod, CA1. And now on YouTube, go to Onefoxycomic to see all of the hilarious Daddy Home videos. That's ONEFOXYCOMIC, Onefoxycomic. Join, subscribe, like everything on there, because all of it goes to helping us further the revolution of Daddy Home, or whatever I'm trying to say. So on today's show, Kiki's not here, as I mentioned. I was able to get a comedian that I talked about a few episodes ago. He was in the new talent contest at Magooby's Joke House. He is sort of a child prodigy when it comes to comedy. People have said that about him. He is Roberto Reed. Welcome to the show, Roberto Reed.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes.
It is great to have you. Now, is it Roberto or can I call you Boberto?
You cannot call me Boberto, no.
Okay, I wasn't sure if people called you that or not. It's Roberto.
I've been referred to as many different things. Boberto is new, actually, in fact.
Well, I just thought Bob.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boberto.
Boberto
Reed.
Roberto, one of those, but,
Yeah,
the hand
exactly.
gesture's part of it.
On your Wikipedia page, it says that you are 15.
I did not know I had a Wikipedia page. I'd
do?
love to see that for my ego's sake. That would be
I'm
fantastic.
gonna look it up. There's a lot of stuff on there.
I'm not
about you.
15.
So you're not. Are you a child prodigy comic?
I think I've only been referred to as that on this podcast. If it counts, if it counts legally, if it's on the internet, it's technically true. So we could say that. I haven't been 15 for a long time, but maybe I peaked.
Oh, well, so you're not 15.
I'm not 15. No, I'm 20 years old.
You're 20.
Yes.
Shit. I was gonna ask you about high school stuff, and now you're not even in high school.
I do recall high school, some very good times. I only spent 3 years there.
Whoa! You dropped out?
I did not drop out. I graduated early. I was sick of that shit.
Damn, dude, you're smart.
Yes, I'm very, very smart. You will come to find that I know all manner of things.
Obviously,
most of which are kind of useless at this point.
Did you go to a predominantly black high school?
Oh, fuck no. I went to...
Fuck no.
No, it was white central. I went to high school in southern Maryland, in one of the most, the most redneck village of Maryland.
I think the reason why I thought you went to one was you had a joke one time about how you went to a school and they didn't know you were white or something.
Oh, I said some shit like, up until I was 14 years old, I thought I was black.
Right.
And it's because nobody corrected me. And
I just assumed you went to a school that was predominantly black, but
no, I thought I was the only black kid at my school, but I was not.
But
and
you're
I found that out
Italian,
later.
right?
I am Italian.
So in a way, you kind of are black, right? There's
You
like,
could say that. I feel like you could just say anything, and
and it can.
with enough confidence, somebody will believe you.
That's cool. I mean, some people in the past have thought that Italians aren't white people.
Yes, my father is one of those people. My father's an Italian immigrant. He came from Italy to
Mamma mia! Telling me all about it. No, it is interesting.
And at one point, I was having a conversation with my mom about our neighborhood. We were talking about how it's it's kind of unfortunate, how white our whole neighborhood is. And my dad was like, "Oh, I don't consider us white." I was like, "Oh, Dad, oh." But he's also 76 years old, so his
that means
construction of reality.
He's 2076. So he was 56 when he had sex with your mom and got.
Yeah, it was actually the first time they had sex. No.
Damn.
Yeah, he was an old
Older
fucker.
guy.
He had a very long life before I came into the picture.
Holy shit! Were
Which
you an
means-
accident?
No,
No, maybe.
wow, I hadn't considered that.
Oh,
I believe
I'm sorry,
it. I
I
mean, they're
shouldn't
old
have
as
said
shit.
that.
No, I mean it's cool. I honestly, it adds a little bit more flair to my story that I wasn't meant to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've succeeded. You graduated high school early.
True.
You placed. You came in, I think, second or third place at the Magooby's New Talent Contest. It's pretty good.
One of those, yeah.
Man.
Matt couldn't wait to get me off stage though. That's
I
the
know.
thing, yeah.
Matt Brown. He
Lovely guy, very good guy.
great guy. Yeah, we love him here. He's a huge fan of the show.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think he is.
Nice.
I mean,
Again,
I think
didn't
he's
say
listened
anything.
to it like once or twice. So to me, that's like a huge fan.
Okay, nice. Yeah, true.
He yeah. Oh, and the other night, remember you did a guest spot? That was pretty cool.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, he was like in a hurry too, and
I know. He had another gig that night.
yeah, and he was just like, go keep it tight, and then they never lighted me, and I was just up there.
Oh, you should have heard the conversation. So listen, I work at Magooby's Joke House, and you should have heard. We have headphones and stuff, so you should have heard the conversation going on, because at one point they were like, "How long has Roberto been up there?" And the girl Hannah, who was doing sound, was like, "He's been up there 6.5 minutes." And like, damn it, he was only supposed to do 5
I
minutes.
know, like, and then I guess they might have lighted me, but again, they
That's
didn't wait to
funny
hear it.
as
And then
shit.
Matt could have just rushed me off stage. Like I would have.
He was
expected
He
that.
was getting so mad because he asked me to ask. He was like, "How much time has Roberto done?" And that's when I had to like ask Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah is the sound person at Magooby's, and she's also like door staff and stuff. She's pretty
Lovely lady.
cool.
Yeah. She needs a break. She needs time off.
She's getting a week off, I think.
Oh,
She's taking some
lovely.
time off.
Take
I'm
her
working
kids
for
to
her.
the Disneyland world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. Like it was a fun set. It was really good. It was a long show, the New Talent Contest that you
It always is.
did a guest spot at. It was so long. I was sick that night too. I had a really bad headache.
I remember that. I was like, oh, he's in a bad mood. He's not gonna like any of this shit that he's
I
gonna
was,
hear.
I was in like the worst. I was about to throw up. My head hurt so bad, and then it was just like the loudest fucking crowd. People were just like wouldn't leave. They were in the lobby of the club, just constantly like yelling, like, "Yeah, girl, you got it. Yeah, word. Yeah, blah blah blah." It's like, please go home. I'm dying. Just leave. And they wouldn't leave. So that's a true story, and that's why I hate my job sometimes.
That's okay. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people out there.
Not to change the subject, but you're Italian, right?
Correct.
Is the Cosa Nostra real?
You're gonna have to say that in an accent.
What kind of accent? Like Chinese or
Oh, I was gonna say Italian. I don't have any idea what you just said.
you don't know about the Cosa Nostra?
I do not.
Shut the fuck up.
Should I? I'm like Italian, quote
Do you know
unquote.
Jimmy?
I'm only a quarter Italian, dude. I'm not. That's not
Do you
Italian.
know Cosa
You
Nostra?
look
It's like
more
the
Italian
mob.
than I
It's
do.
the
I
mob,
really-
like the
Oh,
mafia.
is it real? Of course it's real.
Because like on Sopranos, remember they talk about that?
Oh, true. I had a suspicion for a long time that my father was part of the mafia because
shit.
Yeah, because before like pre-pandemic, he would travel to Italy for a month and a half at a time every single year, and before he went, he would kind of disguise himself as a real Italian for about a month beforehand. He would go to tanning beds.
Nice.
And he would start wearing, his like fancy button up, his gold rings and shit. He let his
yeah.
hair grow out. And then by the time he was leaving, I mean, he looked like a mobster. And then he'd come back and he'd always be like drinking again. Like he would always, he doesn't drink much, but he'd come back from there and he'd be like a little
Drinking some
different.
wine.
Yeah.
Do you speak Italian?
No, I do not.
Cosa Nostra, I believe, means our thing in Italian.
I think it does mean our thing.
Yeah.
But they mean like as a group, not like as like these are our
think
private parts.
I think it's pride. I think Italians believe they invented the mob, which is why, it's like it's
Maybe
their
they
thing, that sort
have.
of thing,
I don't know.
Mob has always existed.
Lucky Luciano, I think, did in the States anyway. He brought
Sounds like a
he brought the
wrestler.
families together. I saw that on what's it called? Boardwalk Empire on HBO.
Oh yeah.
It was a show, like it took place in like a long time ago, like 100 years ago, whatever.
Oh sure.
And Lucky Luciano was on there, and he was like, he took all Italian families and made them like.
I'd love to be part of a crime family.
I mean, are you sure?
I don't know. I mean, it just adds some flair. Like I sometimes it's a lot to have control over your life. If I just had like mobster parents that were like, yeah, go kill for us, I'd be like, all right.
Would you do it? Would you kill somebody for your family?
For my family? I don't know. I feel like if you're a part of a mob family everything you do is for the family. Like that's a thing. It's like one of the
for the
deepest
family.
set things in your philosophies is just like, yeah, it's for the family.
It's for the family.
You know, no matter what they do to you, it's a little abusive, but hey,
Yeah.
the money's good. So
The money's good, but you never know when you're going to get got because you might know too much. If you're not a made man.
but I think that's you never know when you're gonna get got anyway. That's
True.
that's the other thing. You know.
Yeah,
I
well,
might get got the moment I leave.
Yeah, you might. Someone might be out there for you.
True.
So that makes me nervous now.
Don't be.
All right.
If they get me, I'll get you beforehand.
So you're not really like I mean, you're an Italian. Are you like half Italian?
I am first generation Italian American, so my mother is not, but my dad is. My dad was born there, came here.
Yeah. Wow, that's exciting. Like I'm Jewish, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing.
How
to Jew.
Jewish? How Jewish are you?
I'm like 100% full-blooded Jew.
Oh, true. They had a mob, like you know.
Oh, and actually, it's funny you say that. My grandfather played cards with some of the mobsters in the Jewish mob.
played cards with.
No,
quote
I mean,
unquote unquote.
that's what my father tells me. He would stay out all night, like in the park in New York, and play cards with them and lose money.
Is that one of those phrases like painting houses?
Probably. I mean, he might have done some work for them. I don't really know.
Sure.
But yeah, what's his name? Bugsy something? Bugsy Siegel.
Bugs Bunny.
No. Don't call him that.
They're probably
Well, he's dead now.
Cap your ass.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
right. Oh, Bugs. I do. Okay. I was gonna
Bugsy
say,
Siegel,
yeah.
like his crew, was big, and
Do I know that name from what the Irishman?
I think it was from the Madonna movie
One of those, maybe.
with Warren
yeah.
Beatty or whatever.
Sure.
Like he played Bugsy Siegel, or maybe I'm thinking of Dick Tracy. I don't know. This is all like stuff before your time.
I was gonna say, yeah.
way before.
There's a
your time.
lot of stuff before my time. That's fine.
I forget that you're 20, so that means you were born in 2001.
Yep.
Oh shit,
That's fucking crazy.
that's crazy.
People always get super uncomfortable when I tell them that. I don't know, like I say I was born in 2001, and they're like, oh, okay, shit, go
Whoa,
back to
that's-
school.
You missed out on so much stuff, like not growing up in the 90s and 80s.
I was alive for 9/11. I don't know why people are so upset about it. No, okay. I don't know.
man.
Things have just seemed worse since then. So
It's
I'm just used
funny.
to knowing about it.
It's funny that you mentioned 9/11 because this is my favorite time of year to do comedy at open mics. Because usually, like when it's September 11th, I try to do an open mic, and I'm always like, "Oh, what's today's date? 9/11, huh?" Kind of. I feel like something's supposed to go on, like something happened. I don't know.
Right.
That's my favorite joke to do. It's so hacky and stupid, but you could only do it like once a year, or maybe like twice if you do it like on November 12th or November 10th.
Yeah.
Like, is it? What day is it?
Day is it?
Oh, I forgot. I kind of forgot that something happened on 9/11. I don't know.
I feel kind of guilty for admitting it, but I do recall being kind of excited for 9/11 when I was in school because I knew for a fact that there would be the moment of silence in like the first class that we would have, and I'd be like, yes, less class.
That is cool.
And then I try to extend the moment of silence by like being all sad and shit, or like being like,
Going
you
to
guys take this seriously, and then like we
Go to the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Like they have to take you to the office to like talk to someone.
Like, kid, do you even remember that? I'd be like, no, but man, ever since
I
haven't
love
been the same.
America so much.
Yeah. Well, all right.
That's wow. So 9/11, man. I was just watching something on Netflix about that. There's a whole documentary series they just put out on Netflix, and there's like actual audio from the airplane, like the black box and stuff
yeah, all that
that was
shit.
never released. It's like so disturbing.
I had a teacher that was sent on like it was like the sabbatical. She was basically suspended because she played us a video of those recordings in like class
Whoa.
in social studies. Yes, but
Was she Muslim?
no, I think she was just like white lady. But
White.
which is surprising that she was like they came after her for anything. But
Yeah, because she's white. Like
Yeah,
usually, if you were like a minority or a person of color, then yeah.
But she was also super outspoken about, like the bullshit because she taught history and it was very like she would teach the unit and then basically break down all the bullshit that she was told to teach us and then what actually happened
Damn.
and stuff like that. And I remember she played us the video, all the stuff that they're supposed to, they educate you about 9/11 every year, that sort of thing. And then she played us a video of like from the ground and stuff.
Hell
like that.
yeah,
I mean, it
that's
was
the
like
good stuff.
Yeah, and that scarred me and shit. So that was cool.
It's pretty traumatic stuff. Actually, when I was in high school, I went to the World Trade Center on like a field trip because I was in like 12th or 11th grade. We went to New York. It was one of the stops. It was really boring.
I bet it's just a building.
And they wouldn't let my teacher bring in her bottled water.
Could be.
And she got really mad. She was like, I have cancer. I'm supposed to have this water. And the security guards were like, no, ma'am, you cannot bring that in. That's a sad story. It's not
It's a
very
sad
exciting.
story. Yeah. I mean, we've been on 9/11 now for like 6 or 7 minutes.
Not
a lot
long
of-
enough,
It's
baby.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say it's good time. I mean,
There's a lot of sad
should
stuff.
we now have the moment of silence for or no?
No, I mean, we're
It's not
past
good
that.
airtime. we should just skip that, right?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, no, they've had
man.
enough. They've had enough silence. Come on.
Hey, but we finally got out of Afghanistan, so that's good.
True.
Not that this is a political show. I mean, we do talk a lot of conspiracies and stuff on this show. As you know, I know you listen to a lot of our podcasts. Roberto, you're a big fan.
Oh, absolutely.
We talk a lot of stuff about like good government and conspiracies and like.
I
big
talk
cor-
about Afghanistan. I don't know a whole lot, but I know like what the
Dude.
internet is telling me.
Yeah, you gotta believe that.
Sure, all of it. I saw
We've
that,
been in Afghanistan for your entire life.
which is a wild thought to think about because I know people that have been in Afghanistan, like
Whoa.
while I was alive, and now they're out, and my whole life is just.
They're like, you've changed so much since you were a baby.
yeah, right.
They've been gone for 20
You can
years.
talk now?
yeah, right.
Oh man, that is.
I saw a thing that was like, it wasn't really in support of the Taliban, but it was basically a clip that was like, listen, they're actually like, they want free media and stuff like it's like all this stuff, but do they really want free media? It's like a matter of time before
They want their own message
or they're
on their
canceled.
free media.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's cancel the Taliban.
Can you cancel the Taliban?
yeah.
They're still on Twitter.
I was gonna say, let's cancel them
weird.
here. Let's start that. We could just cancel them and then,
And another group will just pop up in its place.
yeah, we can replace them. No.
What is Joe Biden? Joe Biden calls them like the Taliban. He has a weird way of saying
Taliban.
it. The Taliban. He is,
That's like Bush pronouncing it nuclear.
yeah, he's
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
maybe it's a regional thing. I don't know.
I don't know. These old
'Cause-
white dudes in office.
Yeah, I know. Really, fucking Joe Biden, all like, "Oh, come on, man," like that kind of bullshit.
Everyone was all excited. Like the big meme after he was elected was like, finally, we won't hear about what the president is doing in the news. Like we can go one day without something embarrassing. But at the same time, it's like I haven't heard anything about his administration at all. I mean, sure, it's
Yeah, it's on. Well, it depends what you watch, I guess. I
is
just
true.
watch like Adult Swim and Cartoon Network and stuff, so I don't hear much about it.
it's all political humor, which is, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of hard to come by these days.
A lot of people watch Fox and CNN and MSNBC and like Fox News and CNN and CBS, but I don't watch any of that. I'm just like Cartoon Network, Rick and Morty, like that kind of shit. I don't fuck around with the news. The news is so stupid. They're all like, be afraid of this and be afraid of that, but I don't want to live my life that way.
I've never understood how there are multiple like national news networks that are going 24/7. Like how is I mean sure there is news going on, but that they can justify that they're constantly streaming us all this breaking news, and it's like sure, okay. There's a lot of stuff going on nationally that is not really my problem, but I should be aware of, but you should be far more aware of what's going on locally, no?
Yeah, I think so.
And there's none of that.
No, you're right. A lot of it's just scare stories and stuff like ghosts in the White House or like scary.
There's
like,
ghosts in the White House?
Yeah, that was on. I think it was probably on. Well, that might have been on like the YouTube. Or
It's
something.
the History Channel after dark. They started doing conspiracy shit.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe that wasn't on like the real news.
Oh man, I would love to see like ghost hunters go through that building and be like, "Yeah, we caught him. We caught the ghosts, and it's
There's probably some weird shit.
it's
in the
fucking
White
Richard
House.
Nixon in the cocaine lounge they have underneath there." Yeah,
Could be. Jimmy Hoffa, I think, is buried under there.
is he really?
I think so.
That was
he was like
the
a
union guy,
He was a
right?
union guy. Yeah. The Cosa Nostra did not like him.
Nope.
They definitely like took him out and buried him in the White House. I'm pretty sure.
Sure, why not? Right.
I mean, you gotta send a message.
Yeah,
Like, you got-
the
you gotta-
message is
Don't
you take
fuck.
care of this.
Don't fuck with Italians. Pretty much. That's the message.
Yeah,
You
Hoffa
should.
was only what, half Italian?
Oh,
He was
I don't
Irish.
even know. He
He
was
was a
like,
Mick.
yeah, he wasn't even like a real Italian. Not like us.
Yeah,
real
we're all
Italians.
real Italian.
Real Italian.
Hey, how you like? Yeah, let me ask you this. So, what kind? Do you like Italian food?
Oh yeah.
You're like, what kind of gravy? How you like your gravy?
My My gravy?
Yeah, that's what you call spaghetti sauce.
Oh, is that real? No, I don't call it gravy.
You don't call it. You're not,
You're
bro.
out of time, bro.
Come on, man.
I've never once heard of that. That it is
It's
called
gravy.
gravy. I know gravy is that fucking gray like brown stuff.
That's gravy too, but this is gravy.
gravy.
Like on Boardwalk Empire, when they had this Italian guy who was a bad guy, he was like, the gravy. He's like, what do you make this gravy out of? It's gross. It's disgusting. Something like that.
Wow.
And then like on Sopranos, they talk about it. The gravy,
Sure.
the sauce.
I like that all of your like
Right.
Italian knowledge is coming from The Sopranos.
Boardwalk Empire, HBO
Yeah.
shows. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you can come from other places, I guess,
mean, I
too.
fuck
But
with
like, I like to
pasta.
reference
Right.
because those are really
Keep
good,
it
like
real.
true kind of like based on fact, like true facts.
Sure.
So I like to like,
I hear you.
I like to cite things from like true sources, not just like stuff on YouTube or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like real fucking like Tony Soprano was like a real guy, and he's dead now. Obviously, he died, and like.
Well, it's like the media, the public media image for Italians is very like it's the mob. That's the sort of thing is because I
Yeah.
know for a fact that idea that Italians were hated in in America for the longest time, that was the case when my dad
Yeah.
came here. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
born in 1946 and lived in America from that point on.
Okay,
And-
yeah,
and he would like sure
they were despised.
yeah, they were despised, but the actual breaking point for when people started to that view of Italians change was actually I'm pretty sure it was because of The Godfather. I'm pretty sure it was because
Yeah.
in media Italians finally had a place in cinema, and it wasn't for being like shitheads. It was for being like this cool fucking guy. They could be typecast and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
I think part of the hatred was like Italians were taking jobs or something. It's like every other like ethnicity that comes to
sure.
America. Like when they hated the Irish, they hated the Greeks, they hated Italians, they hated the Jews. Like every
we love being the melting pot, but
we hate-
Yeah, we fucking hate when people actually come here.
pretty much the only like group of people that aren't hated are black. Like the black people seem to be pretty well accepted in America. They don't really have any problems. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Wonder how they. Yeah.
How do they get away with that?
Yeah, you'd think that there'd be more people kind of like,
Like yeah,
that
like,
it would be more of a thing that they're black, but it's not.
nah, everyone seems to
Right. Well, it's not because everyone else is like, "Don't come here," but you can't say that to black people. You can't be like, "Go back."
Oh yeah.
maybe that's why.
I mean,
don't
yeah,
know.
it's a little because we don't want to. It's the whole idea of we don't want to blame them for coming into our country because
Yeah.
we can't.
We can't.
But
Oh, I guess we can't. You're right.
no.
Because of the whole like slavery thing.
Oh yeah,
That's
right.
what
I
it
remember-
is,
I remember
slavery.
that.
I didn't
yeah.
realize that until right now, but yeah, you're right. I guess because of that whole like history that passed,
There's
like it's hard to say like negative things because really like they didn't choose to be here.
there are so many like
Wow.
kind of systemic things from that we don't even notice.
Would you say like racism is one of the things, like systemic racism?
Oh yeah. I would say race is one of those things.
Whoa. Systemic racism.
Stat-
That's a tough word to say, actually.
Cystic. Cystic.
Systemic.
Cystic.
It's hard. I have a lisp, so it sounds even worse when I say it.
Systemic.
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 Systemic racism is alive and well in this country.
Yeah, for sure.
And what are we going to do about it? Jews and Italians and Greeks need to rise up and like say something like, "Hey, Black Lives Matter. We need to like take a stand."
Yeah, I actually, so in college I was a philosophy major and we took this
Oh.
course on, I took a course on the philosophy of democracy.
Whoa.
And we had this whole unit basically on Marx's idea of what it means to have reparations and why it would never really work in the idea that we're like using reparations and that's entirely because of the idea of a state.
Right.
And a state as an entity being separated from the actual American people because we can blame
Like Maryland, like that kind of state?
the state of being
State of mind?
the United States, like
The governmental body.
Yeah, the governmental body
Oh,
being
okay.
a separate
Yeah, I
entity
was
because
confused.
legally all men are created equal and we cannot hold the Constitution accountable for any systemic racism. We can't hold the government or America accountable for it. We can only hold individuals, but that doesn't fix the problem. And
That's that's Karl Marx, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Some wordy
his
stuff.
idea basically it's the whole same thing. His idea came from how Jews and Muslims are persecuted, but you know, but there's a separation of church and state legally, so you can't say that, you know, America is Islamophobic because it legally is not, even though America is.
Is that why they hate God in Russia? I wonder. Like religion, the only religion in Russia that's real popular and accepted is like Russian Orthodox.
Well, that's God.
I mean, that's God.
That's Christianity. They're Christian.
Okay, cool.
Because Greeks are that too. That's what I am.
You're Greek Orthodox, but that's different than Russian Orthodox.
No, it's all Eastern Orthodox.
Is it?
It's different. I mean, they have a different archdiocese and stuff,
But
it's
they
all,
don't speak Greek, right?
No, they speak Russian, but it's all Orthodox Christianity, which separated off from Catholicism, which I presume your family is Catholic.
Not.
You're not Roman Catholic?
My family is like Christian. My mother was, but my dad is actually atheist because he was like an altar boy and shit when he was younger. But
that's what I meant. I mean,
shit.
like you're raised like I'm not avidly going to church every Sunday, but my culture is Greek Orthodox.
Right. Yeah. My
Your culture
dad's
is
family
Catholic.
was for sure.
Okay.
Whoa.
That was the West Rome, East Rome split, where the people in East Rome, Constantinople, the Byzantine Empire, went Orthodox, and the people in Western Rome with Caesar went Catholic.
Bro, how do you know all that?
I watched a YouTube video on it last night, conveniently.
Oh shit!
No, that's fucking
Did
weird.
his studying.
I know what you guys are gonna cover, bro.
Yeah,
I'm a
right.
producer,
No, that's crazy.
bro.
You did not
we
even.
had 9/11. You watched something on 9/11?
I skipped over the one on Netflix because I was like, dude, what are they possibly gonna say on Netflix?
It's just gonna
that's
bring
really
me
getting
down,
that
man.
crazy?
Like I'd
It's
love
pretty
to.
good.
I want to learn. Well, sure, you can.
But if there was some crazy conspiracy, they wouldn't say it on Netflix, and that's what bums me out. It's like you're only going to tell me stuff that we kind of already know.
Yeah.
You're not going to say anything that really rocks the boat on Netflix.
They did show pictures of like Bin Laden before he was radicalized. That was pretty cool. Where he's like wearing like 70s like
backwards hat, shades, and
like
shit, like
bell
he was really
bottoms
cool beforehand.
Yeah, Bin Laden was cool. He was like the original like Run DMC.
He was a hipster
Yeah.
before being a hipster.
he was he was definitely a hipster. I'd say that for sure. His family was like filthy rich and like very Western. I
We
think.
should get Bin Laden on this show. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I wonder what he's up to
If we didn't
nowadays.
fucking kill him, it could be done. Yeah.
Oh,
I
if
forgot he was
we
dead.
killed him,
You want to
right?
know what?
Okay, if they killed him, where's his body?
That's a good point. Right next to Hitler's.
Oh, true.
Oh, damn.
And they're
Hitler's definitely dead because that was like a few hundred years ago, like the Holocaust.
Yeah, at least.
I think it was like
So, wow. At
maybe
least 100
80
something years.
ago. Like it was like 90 or the 1940s, right?
Was it the 40s? I thought it was like
36
1910.
to 48 or something like that.
I don't really study history too much, so I don't really know.
Oh, my
How
dad,
many
my
years ago
dad
was
has
1940? 70?
80,
40? 50? 90?
90 years.
79.
Yeah, my grandma.
So hundreds of years.
About 100.
About 100 years.
Oh my god, that is actually wild because my dad is 76 years old. Was born in 1946, which I'm pretty sure means he was born before the end of the Holocaust.
Wow.
He was also born before segregation was outlawed in America. Like I mean, there's all
Yeah.
sorts of really weird
That's pretty
shit.
crazy. Does he remember that?
No, I don't think he does because his 20s through 40s were the 60s through 80s.
Groovy.
So yeah, like there's also countless stories. The first time I asked my dad if he ever smoked weed because that was like when I started
yeah.
smoking weed and I was like I'm going to ask him without alluding to me doing it. And I was like, "Hey dad, you ever smoke weed?" And he was like, "Ha! From my 20s to my 40s." And I was like, "Cool. You remember much?" He was like, "No, fuck no." He's done Quaaludes and shit. I mean, he has all sorts of stories about.
You sure you
the
want to put
drugs.
that out there in the internet that your dad did Quaaludes and I guess he doesn't
Yeah,
really
that's
care.
rad as fuck. I would
Yeah.
I want to know more.
But I don't know. What if he's like trying to get a job or something?
He
That's
actually just
76 years
retired.
old? Yeah.
He just retired.
Okay, cool. So he doesn't need a job.
Nah.
He gets his government like Social Security or
Social
whatever.
Security and shit.
Good for him. Congratulations to him.
So it's a bit wild, actually. Both my parents just retired, and they're moving out of my childhood home and everything. It's
Wow.
like, yeah,
Are they leaving the state or are they going?
yeah, they're moving to York, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice area. My parents, when they retired, they moved to Delaware.
That sucks.
Yeah,
No, it's actually nice. They don't pay a lot of taxes.
it's one of those retirement states.
It totally is.
Pennsylvania,
They bought
Florida.
their place for pretty cheap, and now like the market value's gone up a lot. So if they wanted to sell, they could resell. And they live near a beach.
I was gonna say, yeah.
They live
Pruned
near
it
like
up.
Rehoboth Beach or whatever. There's a lot of gay people that are really happy all the time. So, they seem pretty happy there. My parents.
I just went to Delaware for us like every club or every bar in Baltimore that was doing an open mic like a week ago
Yeah.
was shut down because of the hurricane. And so
remember.
I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a smart idea. I'm gonna drive an hour through the hurricane
No.
to go to Delaware because there was one that was open.
Bro.
People in Delaware are all about Philly for some reason. Like, it's not even in Pennsylvania, but we were like, yeah, we're from Baltimore. And they're like, oh, Baltimore. And they started shitting on Baltimore the moment they heard it and talking about how cool Philly is. I was like, there's not really that much cool about Philly. They're practically the same.
It's pretty much the same, yeah.
Yeah, it's just Philly's butthurt because Baltimore's more fucked up and everybody cares that Baltimore's fucked up and Philly's just like kind of normal. So.
And we have a better football team. I think that bothers them too. And our hockey team is better.
Yeah, and our basketball team kills them.
All they have is alcoholism. So.
Alcoholism,
but we've got crack. So I mean, like, I don't even know where they're, where the anger.
It's very similar. Like, there's not like if you go to West Philadelphia, where like Will Smith was
Fresh
from.
Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Right,
He was born and raised. It's a lot like Baltimore. It's very dirty and disgusting. And just downridden, I think is a word. Downtrodden with like filth and poverty.
I'm sure they have like their Dundalks and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Well, there's like South Philly, which is very like, that's the Italian. It's like which is I guess like Dundalk, right? I don't know.
And that's close to Delaware, right? Because you take the Delaware Memorial Bridge, you get into Philadelphia. Northern Delaware pops you right into Philly.
Yeah, it's like right that little tip at the top of Delaware.
I don't like driving over bridges, so I don't really go there very much.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm scared of bridges, actually.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. That's why I don't like to travel very much.
Who was it? There's some comic that I think it was Trevor Noah. He was talking about the worst set he ever did was the backdrop was a huge window where there was a bridge that was going across it, and the whole set he didn't know why he was bombing, and it was because there was a crane off the edge of the bridge pulling a car out of the water the whole time, and like with a person in it or something like that. And I was like, okay, yeah. From that point forward, I was awful. Like, it constantly made me think about driving a car off a bridge.
Wow. So real quick, just getting back to your Delaware story.
Sure.
Was there anybody at the show?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. The place apparently is pretty popular. The bar is called Bar 13.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's kind of near like Wilmington, maybe?
Yeah, it's in Wilmington. They're
it's run by like a black performer, a black comic, I think. A woman.
Oh, no, it was like a big fella, big guy.
I'm thinking of a different room then.
White guy. But yeah, there were folks there. Apparently they usually get 20, 25 comics. This time around there was only maybe 8, which was fine also because they gave me 10 minutes on stage, which is fine.
They're like, get off the stage, go back to Baltimore.
Yep. I definitely, they were roasting Baltimore the whole time, so I roasted Philly the moment I got up. Nice.
Yeah. And then they tried to fight you probably.
Yes, they did. Bunch of very angry people in there. It was like a shocking amount of flannel, which I'm not really used to going into bars around here.
Yeah, you don't see that much around here.
True.
I guess they're still in that like grunge phase. Mm-hmm. Oh, whoa. Do you know what grunge music is? Because you were born in 2001. You might not even know grunge music.
I know of the word grunge.
Okay.
And it's broken off of rock, right? It's that like...
Yeah, it's like a type of rock.
I don't know. I use the word... Yeah, it's grungy.
A type of like punk rock, kind of like... It's like a sleazier, like...
Is there a band that you could refer to that I might know?
Mudhoney.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Nirvana's
have you heard of Nirvana?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay,
They're
Nirvana.
like the
I was going to say, if that's considered grunge...
most known grunge band, I would say.
Okay.
See, I was gonna name like every other one except Nirvana.
Oh, my bad. I ruined your bit.
No, it's fine.
I've been around Jeff King long enough. I know like most things about Nirvana.
He's about my age, so I think he's about my age. He's like 50 something. How old is he?
Bullshit. Is he really? No, he can't be that
he's
old.
Like
there's no way.
He's in his 40s, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in his 40s. So yeah, we're close in age. Yeah. So yeah, he definitely like grew up on grunge. Mm-hmm. Like Mudhoney, Smashing Pumpkins is kind of grunge too, I guess.
Are they grunge?
I guess some of their songs.
I consider them.
I don't consider them grunge. They're more like alt rock.
Yeah, I put them in the same category as like Matchbox 20 and the Goo Goo Dolls, Counting Crows.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. I think they're a little bit like more rockin' than that. But
what are you trying to say about MB20, bro?
I just don't think they rock as hard as Smashing Pumpkins. That's all. Smashing Pumpkins, it's like Matchbox 20 doesn't do that. They're like, hey baby, right? Isn't
that rocks?
Isn't that one?
That fucking rocks, bro.
No, that's like yacht rock or whatever.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I don't even know what yacht rock is.
If you like pina coladas,
okay,
is that really?
Or baby, come back.
That's actually a good song.
I love that song. If you actually listen to that song, it's one of my favorite songs by Player. Amazing.
You don't
show.
know it. You were born in.
I was gonna say, yeah,
2001.
You
This
bring
is,
me on
like,
your show and
way
start talking
before
about
you.
all this shit. I don't
I don't
recognize.
know. I was born in '92, dude. It's not like I was born in '71 when that song
that
came out.
Yeah, and like Kenny Loggins, I guess, right? Or
Well,
Michael
I
Bolton.
have an older brother that's 10 years older than I, so like my whole childhood.
Wait,
was,
so he's like 30?
yeah, he just turned 30. He's
Old ass fuck.
Yeah, what the hell is your brother so old
Oh, he's
for, bro?
old.
Fucking
He's
old,
like-
dude.
Married
he's
and
a
has
half
kids.
brother. I actually also have a half brother that was my dad's son, who is now 54. What? Who has a daughter who's 29. So my niece is 29.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
She hot?
whoa.
Yep.
Sick.
Is she like a model or something?
Nope. She actually blows glass.
Ah, I thought you
Hell
were saying-
yeah.
say blue.
Yeah, boy.
She blows glass. Lives in Washington.
Washington, D.C. or Washington State?
So it's your half
too far away.
brother's daughter.
Yes.
So that's your half niece?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yo, you go fuck her.
Yeah, you could.
There would be no, if you had a kid with
I bet
her.
you wish you were a piece of glass right now, don't you?
Yo, if you had sex with her.
I've never been like had a conversation like this before. You should go fuck your niece.
Yeah.
Half niece, dude.
Half niece. That means if you had kids with her, it wouldn't have Down syndrome. That's awesome, dude.
I mean, she
There'd be
does
no-
have my dad's DNA. Though.
Oh.
Like there is some of that in
Well,
there.
how much so? Like 5%?
Well, it's my dad had a wife and then had that kid and then that kid had a daughter. So it's
Quarter.
like still in there's still blood.
It's like
there.
an
Trying to do
eighth.
the math. Yeah, it's like 10.
So you have half of your dad's DNA,
Okay.
Yeah.
and your brother would have
My brother would have half. So she has like a quarter.
no. Your half brother has a quarter of your
quarter.
DNA.
No, well he is also a son, like a full son. It's not he's
He wasn't
he's not.
adopted or anything?
no, I mean my dad had him right out of college and so
She's got a quarter DNA.
Yo, is she on OnlyFans or anything like that?
I don't know why this is the conversation.
I'm just asking. I'm just making
she's
small
no,
talk.
I don't think so. I think she's very successful at glass blower.
That's cool.
her thing.
You know, actually, this is kind of a funny story. On my anniversary with my wife, I've been married for a very long time. I have a wife. I don't know if you knew that about me.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I actually took her to do glass blowing.
Oh, yeah?
We made hearts. Isn't that
Oh,
romantic?
wow.
We went to the place in like on Eastern Avenue. And
I didn't realize you could just kind of go and blow glass.
you can make an appointment.
I thought you
like
had
they
to be
do like
trained.
seminars. And they talk you through it. They're like, hold this and roll it back and forth.
You have to have insane lung control. I mean, like,
Wow.
you gotta blow it hard.
Well, that's no problem for me, son. Let me tell you.
All right,
I'm good at
weird.
blowing hard.
I was gonna say, yeah. Tell me all about how you blow.
I blow hard. No, we didn't have to do anything like that. It was more like they did a lot. How are Mike's gonna pick that up? The
They're gonna
sirens?
pick up you talking about it more.
For
All
sure,
right, never
for
mind.
sure.
So
No doubt.
if you're listening to this podcast right now, please
The answer is
forget,
no. They can't hear that.
Please forget that I was saying that there was a siren in the background. That was just a funny inside joke.
Haha.
Yeah, and y'all just don't get it.
It's one of my sound effects I do. Distant
Yeah, right.
siren.
Yeah,
We've
so-
got a keyboard. Every key plays just one siren sound.
Yeah. So that was just a funny joke. Okay. But yeah, we did some blowing and we were supposed to have sex that night, but we didn't. I actually went to the porn store. I bought like lube.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you need that sometimes. And I bought this like pill called horny goat weed pill. It's like $15. It's like a
Wow.
Viagra pill.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because supposedly, I guess porn stores sell these now.
Did you like pop it before you went home, and then you get home and she's like, "I'm tired from all that glass."
No,
blowing."
I
And you're
showed
like,
her.
Holy
Well,
shit!
when we got home, I was like, "Here's some wine." I'm like, "Look what else I got. I got this pill. I got this lube. Like, we could have sex." But she just wasn't in the mood.
telling women that you have a pill to like get a boner, is that like hot? Would that?
I mean,
get her going?
I'm not a woman. I don't know. I would, you know, who I would ask? Haley Nelson, the girl who comes to all the open mics at Wits
Oh,
End.
yeah.
Ask her. She would give you a straight answer.
Straight answer for sure. Okay.
I love that girl. She's amazing.
Very honest person.
Yeah, she's to a fault.
She's an ace in the hole when you're there, because if you ever don't have anything to say, you just like say Haley and she'll just shout something and you play off of that.
Yeah, like
Very
one
nice.
time I was like, "Haley, I want to fuck you," and everyone
I remember that.
died laughing. I
Yeah.
got off stage. God, that was so. I hope my wife doesn't find out that I said that, but
She listened to the podcast. I have a
No.
question for you.
yeah.
Where does Daddy Home come from?
So, Daddy Home is just kind of like something I said one time. I was like, I was on Facebook, like just riffing, like
Right.
trying to be like Dolomite, I guess, sort of like a 70s kind of like black exploitation kind of like character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm white.
Sure.
I was like, "Yo, Daddy Home," you know what I'm saying? Like, Daddy Home,
Oh,
baby.
so are you Daddy Home?
It's evolved to something totally different. Originally, the podcast was going to be me like reviewing porn and like jerking off.
I would fucking listen to that.
Yeah, it would have been great. Like I'd have porn playing in the background.
Because like I don't want it to just be like, oh, I'm listening to a guy jerk it. I want an honest review of porn because I feel like there's a lot of like really terrible porn. I was actually doing research the other day. This was like for a joke, but how the Supreme Court like how they refer to porn as a business, and the big known one is they literally refer to it as you know it when you see it.
Oh.
And that's, I mean, they like, because it's so wide, but I'm pretty sure there are 3 rules that it has to fall under for it to be considered pornography. And it's that the average person can look at it and recognize that it's of the salacious nature.
Nice.
Which just means it's like, oh, there's some titties.
Yeah.
I think the second or third
Has that
one.
penetration maybe?
Nah,
I don't think so. I mean,
You
it's
use
just like
softcore porn.
Right, softcore porn, something like that. But the third rule was, which I found the funniest, was that it needs to have absolutely zero artistic, like there is no artistic nature to it, anything like that. I mean, it has to be, which is because there are movies that have like not pornographic scenes, but like
But there are
sex
also
scenes.
artistic pornos as well.
There's some pretty like The Devil and Miss Jones and like Deep Throat. Those are all really good porn.
Who's Nailin' Palin was a storyline.
Yep.
You
With
know?
Stormy Daniels.
No, Lisa Ann.
I'm sorry, Lisa
the
Ann.
Queen.
I'm wondering if it's had to change because nowadays, like you see porn that's made now, and it's like I have the hardest time getting into it because I'm like, I can't believe it's not real. There's no like these people aren't acting like humans, and you can literally blame the Supreme Court for why porn is shit.
They tried in the 70s harder. They tried harder to make it
they
artistic.
really like
Because
they really did try.
They had music in the background.
Right,
It was a real thing.
but
I
now
couldn't
it, like,
handle the music though. It distracts me.
Yeah, it bugged me too.
But I like. It's weird. Like when I masturbate, I have a hard time getting off if I can't hear. Like I have to turn the volume off because my wife's in the next room. Like we live in a row home, so it's a tiny house, it's like a townhouse.
Do you have to be like, honey, I'm gonna go masturbate? Don't.
No, I'm going downstairs to play my PlayStation. That's usually
yeah.
what it is. I wait for her to go to sleep, or at least I think she's sleeping. Then I go downstairs and I play NFL, Madden for a little bit, and I wait for her to snore, and it's like, okay, boom, porn time.
Boom.
But if I can't hear them talking or any of the sounds, it's harder for me to like really get off.
About earpods, maybe. Get
Yeah,
some
but I'm
headphones.
watching. Well, yeah, I guess if I'm
That's
watching,
true, yeah.
through,
But then you wouldn't be able to hear her if
she
she's
comes
coming
down.
Yeah, but you put
yes,
you put
and that's one of
in.
my concerns is sometimes there is a lot of noise in the house. Like you do hear people walking around, but it could be my neighbors I hear, or it could be my cats. My cats are huge, they're really fat. It could be like boom, 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 like plopping down the stairs. So I had to be kind of like quick about it.
Yeah, you
I have a
gotta-
hard time getting into it if I do not believe that like those two individuals would be having sex. Like if the dude is really like ugly or skinny or like covered in acne, and then there's this gorgeous woman, I'm like, okay, come on, like give me a real.
It can
story.
happen.
So really, what you mean is you can't get into it unless there's a good-looking guy, because obviously
Yes.
you're gonna want a hot girl.
I just
So
want
you
whole
need the
thing-
guy
yeah.
to also be hot,
Right.
which I agree with.
That's actually a Larry the Cable Guy joke.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he has a joke about that, about how like
Sure, it's not Ron White.
it's one of them. It's from
Ron White.
Is it? I thought I
Because
heard.
it's too good of a joke for Larry the Cable
No,
Guy.
I swear to God, it's Larry the Cable Guy.
Where he does, you
'Cause
want
he
a nice
talks
hard
about-
cock?
Yeah.
That's Ron White.
Is it?
Yeah. Larry the
Oh
Cable
my
Guy could have been
God,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Let me tell you something. You like looking at a small dick or a big dick? I really
rock hard throbbing cock.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
literally
that was
the
Ron
amount of
White.
like soft dick porn that there is, it's like
Too much.
again, there's absolutely no way that the woman would be that into just desperately trying to like get this guy
Well,
hard.
that reminds me of facial abuse. I think I've talked about it on here before. It's like a porn site where these guys are just fucking assholes to these women. Like they'll slap them, they'll spit on them, they'll piss on them, and I'm just like, and the girls start crying and stuff. Like, how is that even possible? And guess what?
sometimes it's
from
Ronnie, like-
Philly, actually. It's based in Philly.
I believe that.
It's disgusting.
You ever like go through phases of like the type of porn that you look for?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about this with my friends the other day, and I think before I had sex, I was much more into like porn stars and like porn movies. And then after I had sex, I was much more into amateur. Because once you've had sex, then you know what it really is.
Yeah.
And so you seek out porn that looks like what real sex is. So you're not looking for like
Yeah.
the silicone bolt-on
for sure.
bolt-on tits where she's like, yeah. You're looking for like camera set up on the fucking dresser.
Yeah,
Hell
right.
yeah.
Like
Real
literally in
porn.
their messy ass bed.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
That's maturity
Actually,
thing.
one of my favorite companies is Desperate Amateurs. It's based out of like Seattle or Washington, somewhere Portland, and it's just a guy and he hires like regular people to have sex. It's really awesome. Some of the girls are so ugly though. It's disgusting, but it's also cool because it's like they try to get people who don't look like normal porn stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they get couples together or do they just hire
Sometimes.
random girl, random guy?
Sometimes
Tell
it's
'em
just random girl and he has a few guys like on call.
Do you okay? The other question is, I also don't like porn that you like hit play and they're immediately having sex. I am like kind of I'm kind of about the foreplay, but again, it's just kind of like it seems so manufactured. I don't know. Obviously, it literally is, but
Standard porno etiquette to at least give him a blowjob first.
give him a blowjob first.
I could skip the him eating pussy part. I don't need to see
Yeah,
that.
I fast forward to that. Usually skip
Who
it.
who wants to watch a girl get head from a dude? I don't care.
I don't care.
Oh, see,
If
I
it
just
was a
like-
hot girl, I'd watch it. You know, 2 girls doing it, that'd be cool.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point. I
But
don't know.
just
It's-
watching a dude eat pussy from his ass angle. It's like,
Oh,
Oh
I
my
hate
god, when
that.
they get the balls in there, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing about like I don't want to see hairy
uncalled
ass.
for.
So gross, disgusting. All right, so we're at a good point. I'm gonna change topics real quick. I could
Please.
talk. Look, I could talk porn for
We could
hours.
talk porn all day. You know what?
I could, but I want to talk more about your comedy career.
Okay,
Actually,
sure.
you actually run some open mics locally here in the DMV in Maryland,
Baltimore.
Baltimore, Maryland, for the most part. How is that going?
It's going all right. I have been. It's only been a few weeks now.
So it's early still.
Well, I started at this other place that they had to shut down because of COVID. They like really lost all their money.
That was the restaurant that was like a Sunday night show.
Yeah, that was the Sunday night.
Oh,
I know it was really too bad because it was like the only mic on Sundays.
Yeah, it was taken off too.
And then I, did a hard pivot. I started doing a mic out of the Fells Point Tavern, right on the water. And those guys, I walked in. They had a stage. They have like a second floor that kind of looks down on the stage. It's a really great venue.
And they have like a PA and stuff.
Yeah, they have a
Jackpot.
guy that it's actually they do a lot of industry night type things
Oh,
where
that's cool.
They work with they're right next to the Sound Garden, so they do a lot of the like music
Oh,
from
yeah.
working with the people from there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
get their PA from those guys. And I'm working right now to the guy that brings their PA over, Tim
Ciphers.
Cyphers.
Cyphers, yeah.
I'm working with him right now to put together the music and comedy variety shows that he's putting on music, and he wants to get comics to host and to do sets in between, and then trying to put on a showcase for Friday nights there because it's a great venue. They can like open up the windows up front, and the whole patio area can also listen.
Damn, dude, I want in on that action. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Just like that's my dream to kind of like book a show like that and be on. Maybe not perform, but like put together something like that. It's a lot of fun.
Honestly, I like hosting so much just because it's an entirely different like space that you get to be in, because when you go up, you're announced and you have a 5-minute, 10-minute set, you're just doing jokes and you kind of are playing that character, but you're playing a different character, one that has to know what they're doing. But when I'm hosting,
Yeah.
it's entirely like I just kind of break myself down and I'm almost having a conversation with these people that I can just be human. I can be, vulnerable, not really
Yeah.
say jokes. I do my sets kind of in between if I need to space things out, but I can get people to laugh just by, it's basically my job to just bring the energy from other people out so that I can then bring somebody on stage.
Yeah, and
so
like
the
get their
crowd's
attention
engaged.
and stuff, and
Yeah.
make them like watch the show and get them like hyped. I guess kind of
Yeah.
for what's in store for them. And it's good too because like you can be funny, but you don't have to be like amazingly funny. Like Matt, like you can get Matt Brown on it, and like let him kill, or you could get Umar Khan or whoever, you
Yeah.
know, like
Oh, yeah.
whichever local comic or you could bring in. Let them do their fucking 40 minutes or whatever, and
Sure.
then you get to just chill and like
out,
smoke
yeah.
crack or whatever.
Indeed.
You know, like do amphetamines and
When I like that it's giving me the opportunity to put other comics on, because the whole day I can grind and be doing stand up and get and have people recognize me, which is obviously the valuable part, but I am also
yeah.
I'm also able to recognize other people, and I now have the space where I can put comics that I value their headspace and I value their comedy and I can put them on here. And
The thing that's interesting is like to see the cliques of people. Like now you have your clique of comics that you like, and then like there'll be other people trying to like penetrate and get in, but you're gonna be like, no, you suck. Like, no, I don't want you on the show. You're gonna ruin it.
Well, okay. I do agree with you that it's definitely very cliquey. I feel like Baltimore comics are very jaded. It feels like there is a hard line between like white comics and black comics here. It is
Yeah, I can see
definitely.
that.
I mean, there's overlap and all comics respect each other for being part of the game. But again, there are the jaded comics that they don't even respect the newbies for being there.
I hate some of them.
I don't know. I have all my life. I like being positive and I like giving people good energy. And so when I recognize that another comic like Bobby Ray, he came out last night. Mm-hmm. He is a very, very funny guy, but at the same time, he is also just very positive. He'll have a conversation with you. He'll support you. And
he's all like, "Don't worry, be happy."
Yeah, and I respect that. I respect people for not just not being about themselves, but kind of it's not. I don't know.
I kind of get what you're
themselves to put other
saying.
people
Like,
on. I don't know.
if you surround yourself with positive people, like a lot of good things can happen. When you bring in like the negative people, they sort of like drain the energy and just bring the
and it's a literal energy that you're putting out. And if people know you to be a negative, spiteful, jaded person, it's like, okay, sure, you can be a killer comic, and when they need that, you respect it and you bring that person on. But at the same time, if you're trying to build something, you don't want to bring somebody like that on, and they may or may not get to be a part of it once what you're doing gets bigger and gets to be great. And that's everybody has their own means of getting to where they're going. Obviously, I'm not as great a comic as
We've only been doing comedy for like 6 months, right? Not
something
even.
Like that,
yeah. Like,
I mean, yeah.
You're very
fresh
new
into
to the game, so. It's good though that you're ambitious, which is good. Like you're only 20. Can you imagine? I always think about that with young comedians. Like in 10 years, like if you really stick to it, like who knows? You could be like the next Shane Gillis or whatever. Like
I'd love that.
Yeah, or Stavros Halkias or whoever. Like because they started out pretty young too. Stavros, I think, was like 22 when he started. 21, and now he's like a millionaire from Come Town and all the other stuff he does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just takes a lot of time. I think some people try to rush it. They try to make things happen too fast. And that drives me crazy, but I see it all the time.
I don't expect to be, like, I'm not going to fucking quit my job anytime soon, but I also don't expect to be put on. I don't expect to get 15, 20-minute spots for even a couple years from now, but I don't expect to be making any money at all for 5 years, 10 years. I mean,
it's a while,
like that sort of thing. But which is also why I'm trying to, like, I dropped out of college.
Cool.
It was the pandemic, that sort of thing. But it was also because I got to a spot where I could be doing comedy 6 nights a week, and I wanted to focus 90% of my energy into doing that to know that it's really what I wanted. And then, but I'm at a point now where I kind of am working on basically pivoting because I need to have a career while I do comedy. It can't. I need to have comedy be my muse while I can make money doing something else. And I'd like
money
to
aside
right.
too.
And I'd like to write. I'd like to get into television, do that whole thing. But
yeah. Well, it'll be good. I mean, I guess try to save up some money so you can move to New York or LA or whatever eventually.
Yeah, right.
Probably New York, I guess, would be better. Or Texas even now, right? Texas is a hotbed for comedy.
Sure.
Like with Joe Rogan moving there and like a bunch of other comics or
same with Atlanta. Atlanta's like it's less big with comedy. Chicago's big for comedy, but for like the show business type, Atlanta and Texas are both like.
I didn't know about that about Atlanta. That's interesting.
It's like
maybe that's why it's like Hotlanta because it's so like popular and like hot.
Well, there's a big old controversy because when the Georgia election was going on and it almost didn't flip and there was going to be
a riot.
There was going to be a riot, something like that. There was actually the movie productions, like the show business that had been moving to Atlanta to film and film a lot of stuff. They were pulling out. I think I'm trying to remember who it was, but there was like a big name that threatened to pull out of Georgia, and because of the election, which was kind of fucked because
I think it was Martin Scorsese,
maybe something like that. I thought it was. I don't remember.
Or Danny DeVito, perhaps.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there was like either big companies like other people, but it was kind of fucked up because they were also killing all the jobs that they were creating, moving that there by moving out just for something political.
It's about the Major League Baseball?
No,
Major League
there
Baseball
was that too. Yeah, they
That
pulled the
also-
All-Star
decide to
game.
not have the All-Star game in Georgia because
Yeah.
of something. No, that was because of some law that they
Yeah.
some voting.
some voting law.
Oh, I think that's what I'm also thinking. It was like the voting law that they're pushing through
yeah.
was so fucked up.
For
It's
like
like how much did you
gerrymandering
affect
and-
the city and the state
Yeah.
by pulling the All-Star game out?
Yeah, you cost them like millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is like at some point, I don't know, making things that political. 'Cause
Yeah, it's
especially when
like-
it comes to like
Shut up and throw the ball.
Right.
Pitchers.
pitcher. Yeah, you got no.
And then like those baseball
Absolutely no
players
say.
don't care.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They're not even from here, half of them.
I know they're
They don't
from
give a
like
fuck about Georgia.
from like Puerto Rico and like Canada.
Dominican Republic. You think
Or
they give
like-
a fuck about Georgia's voting rights?
No, or like
They don't even have voting rights in
Yeah, I was
Dominican
gonna say they
Republic.
can't even fucking vote, even though
Yeah.
they're under our fucking thumb. So.
like that guy from China who's really good. What's his name? Showtime Onami.
Shang-Chi?
No, not Shang-Chi. His name's
You-
like
you seen that?
Shonai Onami. He's like a really good pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
And he's hitting like home runs too.
Oh yeah, he's like a really good pitcher, and he's the home run king right now.
Yeah, he's like the Babe Ruth, but he's like Chinese.
I didn't know he's a pitcher too. That's sweet.
Yeah, he's got like 11 wins or
It's like
12 wins. He's like,
Leona Shamey or something.
yeah, it's like Unami, Tsunami.
Johnny
I don't
Tsunami.
know. Johnny Tsunami. That's what,
Yes, that's the
Oh,
guy.
Christ, yeah.
How could you forget?
I don't know. I don't know how I forgot. It's hot and I've had a long day and I'm just forgetting things. Okay, I'm sorry,
okay.
guys.
Johnny
And girls
Tsunami.
and
You
whoever.
can bring Johnny Tsunami on the podcast.
Johnny Tsunami. It sounds like a local comedian.
I would,
show
I would
him.
love to come back and play a character. Like
At-
I've been listening to so much like Comedy Bang Bang, that sort of thing. As I just want to play. I want
Okay.
to interview some freak. You know.
Well, you'll because we have cameras in here. You'll have to like have to wear like a fake mustache.
You'll have to do it in
And a fat
blackface,
suit.
probably.
Blackface.
Blackface.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome. Eating like fried chicken.
And you could just be playing a white guy. And then
I'll be
people be
playing
like,
a-
but
yeah.
why was he in blackface? Just for the fucking love of the game.
Yeah. because
Oh,
it's okay, right? You know.
brilliant.
All these characters coming out. Yeah.
You didn't even have to do this. That's beautiful.
That would be so good. Okay, let's make a note of that. You're gonna come in here in blackface,
Sure. Yeah. Confirmed.
but you're gonna act white.
That's not going to be a problem.
Perfect. Bring that Southern Maryland charm.
Yeah, right.
Blackface.
Pretty funny.
Oh fuck.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, I always wonder because I like to think that I was separated enough from like the Southern Maryland, like the hit crowd. I didn't end up like that sort of person, but I always wondered like what
don't know.
what is instilled in me that came from like bumfuck that I don't really recognize. I
Like
was curious.
tipping cows. You go cow tipping.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But I also here's I do recognize one thing is I have maybe 4 or 5 different jokes about horses. And it's only and I
Is
think
it like you ever notice how big a horse's dick is? What's the deal with that?
what's the deal with that? It gets so fucking big you can't even fit the whole thing in your mouth.
Yeah, they fucking and when they urinate, it just goes everywhere. It goes in your ass, in your mouth. Oh, whatever. It's fucking disgusting. But that's a really good way to stop the show.
Yeah, I was like,
actually.
yeah, I'm really glad that we get to end it right there.
right there.
Horse
So,
dick.
is there anything you want to plug real quick before we do actually stop recording?
Plug, I don't know, come out to Fells Point Tavern for an open mic.
Okay, but
follow
this-
me on
oh,
Instagram.
Just so you know, this is a global show.
Global show.
So people in Uganda and in Singapore that listen to this are not going to come to Fells Point.
Why not?
Well, COVID, first of all. And second of all, they're probably not going to get passports to leave their countries because it's dictators that rule it.
Well, good. I mean, the Taliban can hear this. They've got the free media, so I'm sure. Like, my message to the Taliban: just cut it out.
Hey, guys, cut it out.
Just cut
Come
it out.
on.
You know.
And,
Taliban Tavern, baby.
Do you
Come on through.
you're not big on social media, are you?
I've got an Instagram.
What is it? Do you want to promote it?
I would love to promote my Instagram. It is Roberto.
Well, too bad we're out of time. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, please.
It's Roberto Reed Comedy. ROBERTOREED Comedy.
All right, so great. I follow it. He updates it like once every couple of days. It's fantastic. Just really go ahead and follow it. I'm really not selling it well. I'm sorry, but it
That's
is
fine.
really good.
Go ahead. Do whatever you want. You know
right.
what?
All right, so this has been a great show. Kiki, I hope you're doing great on your special assignment. Hopefully we'll have you back here. Roberto Reed, Boberto, as some people call you. Thank you for being on the show. It was great having you here. And, of course, Jimmy was on the mic, which is always fun. And I just want to say this, go fuck an iceberg.